Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, meron tayong special guest. And he's actually an open work permit holder here in Canada. Let's all welcome Nico! So if you watch my previous video, yung interview ko kay Sandra, so he is the husband of Sandra. Ayan. So umpisahan muna natin, Nico, sa pag-introduce. Sa tagasan ka sa Pilipinas, and ano yung previous work mo sa Philippines?
Hi guys, so I am Nico no. I'm actually born and raised in Canada. Joke. Joke lang. And then I originally from Davao, Philippines. So and then my original work in Davao, so from 2014, since I graduated last 2014, I moved right away as a software developer. So dati I was working as a junior software developer, and then I moved myself up into mid and going to senior developer. So before ako malis sa Canada, I was a open. Sorry, I was an operations engineer for a electronic gifting company that was based in Australia. So yeah, so it's actually the same work thing still with software development. It's just that na may ano lang kami, may bridging lang kami sa gap between the customer care and and tech, and then we have to help them resolve some issues with them, and while doing that, software development as well on the side. So
Bali, ilang years na ngayon yung pagiging IT mo?
um yeah, so from 2014, yeah, it's been 10 years already. 10 years already since I.
Then, bakit nyo naman naisipan ni Sandra na Canada yung country na next na adventure nyo? Kasi may other options like pwedeng US for IT, pwedeng like Australia, pero bakit Canada?
Ayun, good question. Actually, ano, before Canada, before we nung bago pa lang kami ni Sandra is I was actually working in a different country before na. So I was in Estonia, and then when I was there, I felt really the challenges dun sa working abroad. Siguro dahil sa malayo sa pamilya, tapos and then it was my first time being away. And then being myself as well, like ako na pala magluluto, ako na pala maglalaba, lahat-lahat ako na pala yun. So and it's a completely different experience. So when I came back dito sa Pilipinas, I told myself na ay parang hindi pa sa akin yung abroad. Parang alam mo yun, parang hindi pa sa akin. But and I told Sandra as well na before that, when back in 2020 during COVID times in 2021, he wanted to really go to Canada, and and sinasabi ko sa kanya na alam mo, wag mag-abroad. Ano, sabi, yung lagi kong sinasabi sa kanya, wag kang mag-abroad kasi mahirap yan. No? Madaming challenges yan. So lagi ko siyang sinasabihan na gano'n kasi parang just to make sure and to be firm lang yung decision niya na she really wanted to go to Canada in the first place, because like it's a whole different story. Sabi nga nila, you bring your 46 kilos of luggage in your whole life into 46 kilos of luggage. So and then from there, until my work there, so we decided na okay, let's give it a try. So let's try kung ano yung magiging way natin going to Canada. And then before that, we actually tried to to see if pwede ba ako dalhin sa company ko dati sa Davao, and then kung kaya ba akong dalhin sa Canada into it. And then from there, and then we started to go to different options like work permit ba or mag-student pathway, or maghintay lang kami ng another 2 years para lang ma-PR, para pagdating to PR agad. So ayun. And then it comes to point na yeah, we decided to go to Canada. And for us, Canada is the best place among other countries na nafe-feel namin. It's because like building a family, building a community as well is really great in Canada, compared to what we heard to different countries. So ayun, nandito kami sa Canada right now. So, yeah, proud to be here.
Next tanong naman natin is, ano yung naging experience mo sa paghahanap ng work dito sa Canada as open work permit holder and as an IT professional?
Yun. Yun, good question. Well, actually, nung pumunta kami dito sa Canada, before we actually started the whole thing na student pathway and stuff, so I asked my employer kung we're planning na we're going to Canada, and then and is there any options for us na magiging way for us to be parang dalhin ko yung work doon. And it's so timely because our business we're opening in US and in Canada. So that was the time when very fresh pa yung US doon. And so I felt like when I asked them, parang it would be a go because like parang yun nga kasi they need a support team dito sa Canada and especially in US. So and then it was truly a journey like kasi nung sinabi niya okay we'll try our best, parang sinabi niya na okay let's do our best kung kaya ba talaga, let's see how it goes. So and I tried to prove myself. This was in January of 2022. So when I got that response na let's try our best, but hopefully maging positive. And then Sandra and I decided, okay, let's give it a try. Let's try natin yung student pathway because at the end of the day baka siguro eventually magiging okay lang lahat kasi lahat they were really positive about it. And ayun, so when the time comes na natapos na yung mga processing and stuff, sabi ko, patay, wala pa akong work. Parang hindi pa ako sinabihan na papasokin mo ba ako nito? Pero during those times, kasi mga around 9 months of processing yun eh. So during those 9 or 10 months processing, so, from pabibo ako sa work, like, gagawin ko lahat, kaya ko to, sige, kasama na yun. So, sige, gawin mo sa akin, bugin mo sa akin trabaho, ganyan. So, all of the things that needs to be done para lang ma-impress yung employer ko to be na at least they would say na this would all be worth it kung kukunin namin siya sa Canada. And then, here comes na we have all the tickets, approved na yung visas and all. And I was left hanging, like parang, wait lang, kukunin ba ako dito? Tapos papunta na ako ng Canada. I also remember December 15 when we started to talk again with my employer na hey guys, I'm leaving now to Canada and I'm not sure kung ano yung plano sa akin and stuff. So, because I need to resign dun sa work ko sa Pilipinas kasi naka-base kasi siya talaga sa Manila. So, I need to resign. And then, sabi ko, patay, anong gagawin ko? So, and then when we came here, we started to I started to find employment. So parang okay, let's give it a try, like put it online, sabi ko. And then I found one na nakapag-interview ako and it was in Toronto. So sakto kasi sa Toronto siya. So first time din namin sumakay ng train papuntang Toronto. And then from there, sige, and then it was an interview. So it was a shocking interview because like it was dalawa kayo and then everything was like okay, ito pala yung ganito pala yung experience ng interview dito sa ano. And then from there yung second part ng interview is whiteboard na coding. So pinakode ako sa ano. So syempre yung nerves, lahat ng obvious, hindi ako masyadong sanay. So lahat is parang naka test assignment lang mga ganun. So submit mo lang the next day or 2 days after. So ayun, so those were my experience na finding a job here in Canada. But eventually, my employer was able to finalize everything, the papers and stuff. And blessed din kami because I was able to bring my job back home in the Philippines, here in Canada, which actually sustained our life here in Canada. And I wasn't able to have that much experience na going over na sige dito ako mag-work, mga odd jobs na and I was truly blessed with that. And but I can still feel the struggles of the challenges of the Filipino people na nandito sa Canada about it.
So na-experience mo rin naman na mag-apply ng work kasi sabi mo nga medyo na-hold pa ng konti yung work mo sa Philippines. So sa tingin mo ba kasi merong mga like sabi-sabi na kapag IT ka daw, mabilis daw makakuha ng trabaho sa Canada. So, as an IT professional na working here in Canada, sa tingin mo, totoo ba yun?
Um, I'm not sure if it's really true, partly not, because dito kasi, whenever you're coming from different country, they would need first to check kung kaya mo ba talaga gawin yung work. As sa atin kasi sa Pilipinas is we can, like, kung papasa sa mga stages of interview, okay na. But here is, some of the companies, especially big companies, would really require you to have certificates or probably degree na dito talaga graduate just to have that confidence sa employer na kaya yung ginagawa niya, and it's not just on the resume itself na so those were the challenges. And then second is lots of competitions. So syempre dadating ka dito, you bring that experience, but it wasn't, hindi siya counted yung experience na yun because they still need that Canadian experience. So when you come here, lots of competitions, syempre yung mga students na nandito, graduate din sa IT field, and then yung mga ibang immigrants din like us na who are in IT field as well. So it's truly a challenging, but if you really find that perfect employer for you, it's all be worth it. So because like especially growth, technology, and anything that you wanted to grow as an IT professional, nandito din kasi sa Canada because we're very close to US, and partly and somehow they are kind of similar of how they do the technology here. So
Talking about, nandito ka na sa Canada and then probably you're also working with some in the US na mga colleagues mo siguro. So, ano yung like difference ng work culture na mapansin mo na dito having like a Western type of environment?
the work culture, it's somehow completely different. Like in Western kasi, they're pretty much direct. So whenever, like, let's say hindi nila gusto to, and then they have problems into it, like they would really say about it. And for them, it's more of like a professional way of saying na you have to do your job, something like that. So and in the Philippines, it's kind of much more of a laid back part, because like we were, para sa akin, the Philippines are much more compassionate. Like they would still consider some things na okay, we can do this, something like that. So that's how the culture. But what is quite good as well in that culture is that you can actually really see what you really wanted to grow, or like ano talaga gagawin mo, ano talaga yung things na kailangan mo palang improve, and they would really help you to achieve that if you can identify kung ano yon. So and it's really great because I was able to have that chance to fly into to California before, and to meet their teams. And in work, medyo stricto sila. Parang sabi ko, oh, grabe, parang ano pala to, parang stricto sa Zooms, baka ganun. Pero when you meet them in personal, iba pala sila. Like parang they were really parang warm, really warm, and very comfortable to speak with. So they're still human, guys. So okay lang sila. So for me, it was just more of like, probably I was used to like really to be cared of, like, ay Miyaji, okay lang yan. So sometimes I really need that push, pero but the culture there would, if you really want that culture, ito yung sa Western, very direct, and but at the end of the day, they would still help you growing into what you want it to be.
So, ang next tanong naman natin, kasi alam naman natin na ang IT is malaki ang sahod. Sa tingin mo, is well compensated ba yung mga IT professionals dito compared nung nag-work ka sa Philippines? And of course, yung cost of living mas mahal dito. So, do you think nababalance out ba nung sahod mo yung cost of living dito sa Canada?
Gusto mo, money matters. Actually, siguro back in the Philippines, parang if you started like a junior developer or something, like ano talaga, it's really low. Like parang it would be enough for you, because like parang most likely para magiging minimum wage earner ka din kasi you'll be in a different space. So it's a completely different story if you come here in Canada or Western countries. They have this standard na salary in terms sa IT field. So most likely it would really not be about the in the minimum wage earners na nakikita natin, or how much do you know for the minimum wage sa Western. But it would go up, siguro median, or siguro kung magaling ka talaga, it would be go for the higher salary. But in the Philippines, you would really start from the minimum wage earner, and then you have to rank yourself up. And then second is, as we all know na we have BPO companies na ina-outsource talaga yung mga talents from sa Pilipinas going to the US or any parts of the world. So since ina-outsource siya, the reason of the outsourcing is because like it's cheaper labor in the Philippines, and then you have the same talent as you have in the US. So technically, mas mababa din siya kung i-compare mo talaga in terms of money wise na ano. But if you look into the side of parang let's say lifestyle, or parang cost of living, is well, it's kind of the same thing, like, because like you earn dollars here, so you spend dollars, and then dito as a Pilipinas you earn peso and then you spend peso. But the thing is, like, in US, there are benefits that you can actually gauge with, like, let's say, like, mga government benefits, yung mga anything, mga investments, or anything that you wanted to have, like, to grow you as a person. But tax is nandun din lagi. And for me, sa Pilipinas, it's a completely different story then. So you have your own benefits, you have to. And dito kasi part na kasi ng benefits mo is yung healthcare. So dun kasi sa atin is it's either your company would give you the healthcare, or ikaw yung gagastos for healthcare. So I would say it would still be worth it yung ina-earn mo dito sa Western, kasi because first is standard yung mga salaries nila, and then as you go up to the ranks or the corporate ladder, may mga talaga, may mga perks talaga, may mga something talaga makukuha mo, and which is for me, for personally, it's quite hard to achieve it in the Philippines. So yeah, so dito kasi standardized talaga lahat in terms of salaries, of benefits and stuff.
So, ano naman, Nico, yung magiging tips mo para dun sa mga aspiring, like, IT professionals na from the Philippines na who'd want to come here in Canada as an open work permit, or maybe sponsored by the company, or who wants to maybe explore, the Western professional experience. So, anong magiging maybe suggestions or tips mo sa kanila?
First, pray lang, guys. And then so first is like you have to really first hone your skills. So syempre, very important for them is the results. So if you know what you're doing, like siguro sa programming world or any IT field, sa cybersecurity, sa AI ba, or anything, as long as you know what you're doing, and you know the fundamentals of it. Let's say sa amin, software developments, the fundamentals of programming, the basics of it. I think you're good enough to start, and then from there, second is you start to, if you're in the Philippines yet, start to grow your career, maybe siguro sa mga freelancing, or maybe sa mga companies, na mga agencies na nag-outsource din ng talents. It's because you have to understand how software development works. It's not just like you know how to code, but also you know how to collaborate to people. Like parang siguro, you have this task, you have this, like social. Yeah, other than the social, it's yung technical side na let's say you working on this, how would you collaborate this to other teams? So because like yes, communication then. So first let's say for me, I'm a backend developer. So it's not just all about backend. So kailangan ko din mo-communicate sa frontend. Like how would they interact with each other, the frontend and the backend? So which leads me to the third point, like communication. So yung communication kasi is very important. That's one thing that I really learned when I was in Estonia. Yung pagdating ko doon, akala ko magaling na ako sa English. Ako lang English lang to, kasi sa Zoom kasi pag interview, parang gamay mo na, parang so this is my Chabalu. Pero pagdating pala doon, nung nasa Estonia ako, you have to really speak in English na socialization, yung mga communication mo, like, hey, what you doing? Yung mga small talks, hindi ko alam yun, guys. So, parang ako, parang lahat ng mga sinasabi ko, syempre, Davao, Bisaya. So, yung Bisaya, tinatranslate ko to English. parang hirap ito. Parang, tas, yung mga iniisip ko, mali ata yun. So, and then, eventually, I learned it as I grow there. Because, syempre, walang, ano doon. May mga Filipino community doon, pero most of the time, you speak with your colleagues. So, English talaga. So, siguro, I developed myself na ma-communicate siya in English. Which nung umuwi ako sa Pilipinas, I felt like it was truly an edge for you. Because, gaano ka pa kagaling, dyan sa Pilipinas, kung gaano ka pa kagaling, if you really don't know how to communicate, wala, hindi mo mapapakita mo talaga yung skills mo of how would you do things in life. So, I would suggest na you improve the communication, which is like yun nga, if you try to work in a team. So, and from there, if you're given a chance na, let's say, na pumunta dito sa Canada, open work permit, or probably your company is really generous enough na to go na pumunta dito. So, yun, those are the times na you need to again prove yourself na you can really do the work. And this field, IT field, guys, is a long hour of work. So it's not about like 8 hours of work, but you have to endure some of the times na kailangan mo mag-code, kailangan mong matapusin, because for me, hindi siya kasi routinary na job na kailangan mo. There are times na kaya mong trabahuin in school, let's say 2 hours or so, but there are times that you need to step up and you need to go beyond the normal working hours. But I'm not saying na hindi wala kang overtime. I'm not saying na you need to go overtime. But for me, it's much more of like trying to be efficient in what you do. And
May overtime pay ba?
Ayun, may overtime pay. Oh, may mga overtime pay naman ngayon. But right now, I was asked to lead the team now. So sometimes parang hindi na ako sinasabihan ng overtime kasi parang siguro given na kasi siguro yun. Hindi ko alam sa management na role. So ayun, so yun, first is hone your skills, and then go to a team, go collaborate. May mga daming teams dyan sa Pilipinas na you can start with. Your freelancing, even freelancing you can go, or companies. And the third is communication, really communicate. So when you go here in Canada for open work permit o sponsor, wala na, magaling ka na, guys. So kaya mo na kahit kaya mo suungin lahat. Pro ka na.
So ngayon naman, Nico, since na we know that you're an open work permit holder, and then si Sandra ay international student, well, tapos na siya sa pag-aaral, no?
Yeah.
And ano naman yung plans nyo since si Sandra ay nakagraduate na ng kanyang studies?
Well, actually, no, praise God, kasi si Sandra ngayon is just recently graduated sa kanyang course. So, just one thing na na-crash out sa goals namin. And then the next part is the next part is the parang starting to find work. So, yun yung first plan namin talaga, that Sandra can really, or Sandra, first Sandra muna, kasi makapaghanap siya ng work, and then she can involve herself sa professional world. And then from there, we're working with our permanent residency, and we're taking steps already na para ma-submit yung mga documents and still needed things na kailangan gawin para tumaas yung points. And hopefully, PR, permanent residency, hopefully we can get the permanent residency soon. And then, from there, we stick to the plan. Bakit kami punta sa Canada is, to build our family here dito, and hopefully we can build a family here in Canada, and ayun. So hopefully those will be matutupad siya lahat. So ayun.
Ayun, for sure matutupad yan. And ngayon naman, since alam natin talaga Davao ka, so in Bisaya, meron ka bang masasabi sa mga taga Davao, or sa mga mga Bisaya dyan, ano bang pwede mong mabigay na tips sa kanila, or any suggestions, or anything na you would want to say to them?
Yun, sa mga kuan ako diha, sa mga barkada na ako diha, mga pre, mga bay. mga bay. Wala. um,
Artista na si Nico.
guys, artista na ako guys. So, dili na dyan ko ninyo basta-basta mga char lang. Joke lang. So, kana lang. First of all, I miss you guys. So, gimingaw ako sa inyo. Hasa naman mo karon. So, hopefully, okay ra mo kung asa mo karon. And second is, keep pushing lang. I know, dagan kayo og challenges jud dira sa Pilipinas. Most especially sa Davao karon kay dagan kayo gano jud, dagan kayo mga kakulian dito and very dagan kayo mo mga struggles nila. So whatever it is, kanang kami always taga-hope na sa inyong success, whatever your plans in life, kung unsa man na bay, mga pre, mga friendships and everyone. Sandra and I are really praying for everyone dyan sa Pilipinas. Masking narami dire, pero our heart and mind are still be a Filipino. But we're still try to be murag paningkamutan gyapon namo nga no mahimo gyapon ming Pilipino sa Canada. Ipakita dyan namo nga kaning mga Bisaya diri sa Canada kay kaya kay nato buhaton ang mga buhaton ng diri bay dili basta-basta matandog o dili basta-basta mabuak ning pagka Pilipino o pagka Bisaya nato. So ayun, kaya na, laban lang.
Ayun guys, thank you so much for watching. Sana meron kayong natutunan sa episode natin today. Thank you so much, Nico. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video, guys. And see you again in my next vlog. Bye!